Hello and welcome to this online multiplayer battle for Rome Total War. This is a CWB battle. I command the brutii Romans. My army consists of 6 units of urban cohorts, 5 units of Roman archers, 2 units of praetorian cohorts, and 5 units of praetorian cavalry. Now, I faced the rebels, thinking that they would have a least effective army because of the rebels, but I did not realise that they can have war elephants and chariots. Now this army is pretty random, like they just have random units spread around. We've got some Spanish mercenaries, we have some 2 units of Hastati, 2 units of Bastani mercenaries, 2 units of Cretan archers, 1 unit of round shield cavalry, and 3 units of hoplites. Now, if I was going to base my army around hoplites, I would not have used rebels. I would have used Greek city-states, Macedonians, or the Seleucids, just simply because they have a better variety of hoplites than what the rebels do. Although I do believe that he was trying to base his armies around elephants and chariots. But even then, the Seleucids can take care of that. They have those units. I don't know if they're more expensive, but they still have them. Now, these blue Romans, Scipii Romans, have 4 units of archer auxilia. Right. 3 units of... Nope. Yeah, 3 units of legionary first cohort and 6 units of urban cohorts, along with 5 units of praetorian cav. Now if we go over here, we have the Germania tribe facing off against the Red Romans of the House Julii. We have 5 units of Gothic cav, 6 units of spear infantry, spear warband, 2 units of chosen archers, 2 units of chosen axemen, and 2 units of berserkers. The Julii Romans have 6 units of praetorian cav, 6 units of urban cohorts, and 6 units of Roman and peasants, Roman archers, and 1 unit of peasants. Now as you can see, these cavalry are hidden in the tree. I don't know if the Germans saw them until later on, but anyways, these are gonna fight it out. Now I'm over here because the battle between me and the rebels doesn't start for a while, because it's mainly just standing around looking for the right move. Now these cavalry are just gonna charge straight at it. Now they're gonna try and flank each other. Well, the Germans are. Now, praetorian calves are pretty good in this game, so I can see that these are just not gonna do very well against the praetorian calves. Now, in this battle, this is a 20,000 denarii CWB battle, and in my opinion, I would not have chosen Germania faction as an army against like Romans, especially urban cohorts. I imagine that these are upgraded to hell. So when you think about it, these are just like stock units to the Greeks, the Seleucids. These are just like militia, hoplites, and the Pila is just pretty much wiping them out straight away. These chosen axemen are just going to charge in. Their general dies, and then that's over here, and then their cavalry is just going to rout. Now these spearmen just charge straight in. These are going to rout from that cavalry charge. Now these spearmen just rout straight away. There's pretty much no fighting whatsoever between these. As you can see, they just get a few shots and then they're already routing. These take a little bit more time to route, but even then, these Romans don't really take much casualties, so their army is pretty much still intact, and that's going to be good for when they get attacked again. But anyways, these 40 had archers, they must be dead. But anyways, oh, they're over here. I don't know what he was doing with his berserkers. Like, I thought maybe his berserkers should have been sent in first, or with the warband, spear warband. They could have done quite a lot of damage. Now, anyways, this battle here is over, so he's just gonna stay there for quite a while. A good length for the battle. Now, I've just started moving up my army. As you can see, these chariots will move away from their position and just move into the forest over here, and then counter that move by sending 3 units of cavalry and just place them here. So if they charge, my cavalry will charge. Yeah, so the blue Romans are pretty much trying to deal with these elephants over here. They do pretty well. They've routed 2 units of elephants, but they've still got some on the loose over here. There we go. So my cav have moved on to the right flank, and now what I'm going to do is just going to sort of walk into the forest with my cav and try and get an attack on them. I wasn't sure if this was going to be a big risk, cavalry against chariots, but we'll soon find out. I mean, I haven't played this game in a while, so I don't know what's good and what's not. So what I was trying to do was sort of try and flank the men by sending these over there, send these on the left, and then send these on the right. But they were just shooting archers at us, so I just quickly charged in, try to take as less casualties as I could. Now these chariots just route pretty much straight away from this charge, well, after this one, and then the rest of the chariots are just gonna come in and join the fight. These are gonna go over here, try and surround them and get a good charge on them. Then these chariots eventually rout. So yeah, they eventually rout, and then I'm gonna move my cav over here. Now these cav pretty much take a big part, like they are a big part in trying to defeat this rebel army. They pretty much take out every part of this army. I'm just going to skip it forward a little bit because it's just... there we go. So I say these units sort of free by themselves. Actually no, I don't. Yeah, that's what happens. I move my cav over there as these are charging. I'm going to split off one unit, and then what I'm going to do is just going to surround them by charging and to the side of them, which should happen now, and then they're just gonna completely rout. Now these hastati come in and then they try to chuck the peeler, but they've chucked the peeler at the completely wrong people. They should have been hitting the cavalry, but instead they're going for my loose formationed Roman archers, which pretty much does not much damage. I don't even think it did. It did do some damage, but I'm just gonna charge on the back of them. They're just gonna completely rout. So there's 2 units down of the main army. Then I'm just going to retreat the cavalry. These Bastoni mercenaries are going to come up, and then they're going to try and, well, they're going to succeed in routing my Roman archers by pretty much doing nothing, by charging at them. I think that was just because their archers were shooting that way. But anyways, my Romans are ready for an attack. I'm not going to take them out of formation. I'm just going to let them smash into the side, into the front of us, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cavalry, surround around them, and then I'm just going to smash into the back of them. Or the side. Here we go. And then they're just going to completely rout. So we've taken out quite a lot of men already with just using the cavalry. Just gonna skip forward again. So that's one. So I see the blue Romans coming up with their cavalry. So what I do is I take a big bulk of my army, reform them this side with 2 Praetorian cav, and keep 3 units here to deal with these rebels. Those cav could have got like a big charge of my men, but I managed to stop them from doing so. But the big bulk of their armies up here fighting elephants, so still got a while until they start attack. But anyways, they're gonna move their army up. I'm gonna move my cav into the rear of them, so I'm just gonna charge the men in. They're going for my horses over there. I'm gonna stop them. They're just gonna charge into the back of them. Gonna go rout them, and then they're just gonna now charge at the back of them. But they managed to turn around, and they didn't rout instantly. They managed to take a few with them. But anyways, they're routed now. So now we've only got a unit of hoplites and some Cretan archers. But at this moment, they're just going to move their units up. Just going to skip forward. This is a very lengthy battle. Oh, yeah. Like, I didn't really want them to do that. I wanted them to move over here to then deal with the archers and then just try and smash into them from behind or surround them. But they just stupidly went straight into the front of the pikes, but we still managed to rout them, luckily. Anyways, we're going to deal with these Cretan archers. These elephants are going to try and follow them, but the elephants are going to eventually change routes, and then it's going to try and take out my infantry over here. So I'm just going to skip forward a little bit. Yeah, so I see that he's moving his cavalry over to my right flank. So what I do to counter that, I'm just going to take all my cav, place them on the right to prevent them from doing any attacks. Now, they have cav in here, and he makes a wrong decision of moving all of his cav over here along with mine, and where he could have easily have just charged these men in and then just used these 3 units of cav just to hold off these cav over here, and then charge these into the back of my men, probably mass routing them. But anyways, these elephants caused a lot of damage to my general unit, and these units here, I lost 12 men there, and 32 men there, and especially when it's my general unit. I wanted them to do a flaming arrow straight away, but they just didn't do it, and that cost a lot of men. Could have saved a lot of men. But anyways, I'm going to retreat all of my cav over here. As you can see, he's going to start to move these cav soon over to here. There we go. It comes out of hiding. Right, so in this time now, I see the red Romans sort of coming over these trees. Well, coming around to try and take out my left flank. So I instantly thought I need to take out these blue Romans before they get to us. So what I did, I just marched in straight away and hoped that I could take these blue Romans straight out quickly. And then, right, so I'm just going to rush them in now. They're going to come out with test doodle. And we're just going to quickly charge in. Now these cav are just going to go into a straight battle. Like no flanking maneuvers, just straight head on. Now these cav are outnumbering mine. They should have really won this battle, but they don't. I think, yeah, I route some of my units. 2 units of Praetorian Cav go, but these are still here. These are going to route. He's going to send some war dogs in, but they're just going to be quickly repelled back. And then I was going to charge them into there. He's going to move his cav here and charge into the side or the back here. Actually no. Yeah, he's going to do that. Then I'm just going to swing my men over here who have just routed these men and just smash in the back of them. Now, their infantry is just completely gone. Well, a big bulk of them. These units still stay. They've got some units in here still. But, so these cav route these and I take the general. Now these are dangerously close, so what I'm going to do is just going to quickly reform my men into position to try and repel this attack. They're just going to rush in, so I just needed to rush into formation. These didn't get out in time, so these are just going to rout, but they're only Praetorian cohorts. So we're just gonna have a big dogfight. Now I made a mistake here. These Praetorian calves are gonna take out these Praetorian calves, and they're gonna win. But then I made the mistake of trying to go around and smash into the back of these to try and rout them, but it just did not work. I should have really went and took out the archers, because these archers are really deadly, and you'll see soon how it just sort of annihilates most of my men. Now these cav are just gonna completely rout because these archers are shooting into the back of them. There we go. I sort of tried to get a little cheeky charge onto them, but that is just not gonna work. So these are just fighting it out. I have more of an advantage on the right flank, I believe, than the left flank. The middle is just completely getting pushed back. I think these route, or it could be these, I'm not sure. But anyways, I route the left flank, and then I'm going to take these urbans. I'm going to come around and try and smash in the back of them. And then this is what I did wrong again. Now, because these Roman archers, as deadly as they are, they're going to just shoot into the back of us, completely annihilating most of my men, and then they're just going to eventually rout. But the Scipyard Romans have still got 3 units of legionary first cohorts. Well, 1 unit of legionary first cohort, 2 units of urban cohort, and 1 war dog. Right. But anyways, we're still fighting it out here. These are still holding on, but quite a lot are still dropping. There's at least 2 or 3 a second. Right, yeah, so these route, leaving a big gap here. So he could have maybe have moved these men around and attacked from behind, but he didn't. But anyways, I've still got a decent amount of units here. Now, these units here are just completely outnumbered by 2 urban cohorts. Now, I wanted these to quickly rout, but they were putting up a good fight. They didn't rout until like 3 units were left. But anyways, I wanted these to rout, and then I was gonna quickly smash into them, causing them to rout, and then that would be their infantry done. So I'm just gonna skip it a little bit. There we go. There's 1 person, well, 2 people left in that unit, but now I'm just going to smash into the back of them. But at this point, the blues are moving up, and I have a very depleted army, so I will not be able to hold them back. I was hoping that these Roman archers would help us and taking out these blue Romans, but they do not do that, and then they're just gonna separate, and then he's gonna chuck his peel out, they're gonna rout, and then they're just gonna rout as well.
He is running away.
Now, this is where a little bit of, I would say, I don't know if it could be, no, I'll not say that, but this is where the annoying part comes, because as you can see, these red Romans are running into the forest to get away from these Romans. I knew I'd lost, so I just charged my Roman archers into them. They just rout pretty much straight away. I've still got some unit here. They're just going to charge in again. There we go, they're just going to charge in. So there's no chance of me winning here, but as you can see, this red Roman was already in the trees, and he was putting in the chat like saying, admit defeat, otherwise I'll run the whole map all day. Now I find that unfair. I mean, because in all fairness, he's gonna lose this battle, because archers against urban cohorts is not a really fair fight. The urbans are gonna win unless he sort of just keeps on maneuvering around them, shooting while he can. But he was just running around the map trying to get away from them, and he was just saying, well, admit defeat, otherwise I'm gonna run around. Now, I find that unfair. Just admit defeat. You've lost. But in all fairness, he did come back with a good point, like saying he was just like camping over there, waiting for everyone to fight it out. But if this was a real battle in real life, like, you wouldn't be saying that to the other general. He could have waited weeks, months to attack, and like they wouldn't be crying about it. But in all fairness, this is a game, and it's not really fun if if you've got just someone camping on a hill, just in a complete noob circle, or something like that. Well, it wasn't really like that. He's not really on the hill, he wasn't in a noob circle, he just wasn't attacking anyone. He was just biding his time and just waiting for the right moment. But anyways, in the end, he just says, right, I'm just gonna go, I can't be arsed for this. So he leaves. The Red Roman doesn't realise that the computer now takes over this army, and so they're just gonna run at him all day. So then he just thinks, oh well, I'll just leave anyways, and then he just admits defeat. There we go. That's when he admits defeat, and then that's the end of the battle. But anyways, if this had been scored resolution, I would have won this battle, because I had the most kills. But this is not score resolution, this is last man standing. Anyways, as you can see, he didn't really get that many kills. That sort of like backs up his argument that he wasn't really attacking. I mean, the Germans had a good point, because he just got beaten straight away. But the rebels even done better than the blue Romans, but I think that was more down to the elephants than anything else. And the red Romans almost beaten us in kills. But the only problem was I had to fight three armies. I managed to kill most of them, but the archers were just too good to fight back. But anyways, if you like this battle, please like, comment and subscribe. If you'd like to see more, I'm considering starting to do some more online multiplayer battles. So if you'd like to see more, just, you know what to do. Just, yeah.